All right, Zach, the question on everybody's mind, what were the best ads from the big game in 2026? We'll get into it. All right, Zach, we had to say the big game in our promos because you were not allowed to say Super Bowl in advertising to make it sound like they are associated with your brand. Not that I think it would matter for us, not really our audience necessarily, but since the podcast is technically editorial and blog posts are editorial, you can say the words Super Bowl. So now we're off the hook and we can
We're
jump in
free.
there. So Super Bowl, Super Bowl, Super Bowl. The game had some pretty decent hits, I think, not a lot. Some misses, and a few that were just like, what the hell was that? Like,
Yeah. I
um,
think honestly it was a lot more toned down than previous years too. Like it
some of it,
all seemed
the
like it blended together. I don't know if that was because the game was just boring to me, but
the game was terrible.
yeah.
Like, I did watch the first half. I did not watch the second half. I watched the halftime show and then was like, yeah, I just don't really care. And it was so slow. My goodness. But yeah, the ads were partly the highlight. We are going to have to talk about all the poop and pee ads because there was just a lot of that. We had that. We had manscaping was in there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, honestly, that was one of the better ones. So we'll get into all that in a little bit. But first, we've got to talk about this cocktail, Zach. So talk about the pineapple martini.
So the pineapple martini was created in 1997 at London's Met Bar at the Metropolitan Hotel. Ben Reed was the person that actually created it, and it was, and one of the things that I read about it is that it was like this new thing where they added freshly squeezed juice instead of martinis, instead of like the more toned down, like dirty martinis and stuff like that. Also, they added lime juice to boost the acidity. And so it was pretty famous back in the 90s. Would you say it was famous back in the 90s? Because I've never
I
heard of it
mean,
before this, but
I mean, I would have been 26 in 1997. I know in the early 2000s, pineapple infused vodka at bars, like fruit infused vodkas and gins at bars became a thing where they'd have like, like the spa has the water one, they would just have a big vat of vodka with fresh pineapple like in it. And that stuff was good and dangerous. Because especially the pineapple ones, because pineapple can be so sweet. And as it like ferments sitting in the vodka, you get this really sweet fruit. I mean, honestly, if I worked at a bar that had that, I would just take the fruit palm at the end of the night and just get wasted. Um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know that there were like the lemon drop has been around a while.
yeah,
But the whole idea of using fresh juice in martinis, because there's the martini culture is can be really like crazy. And a lot of people are like, it must be gin, there must be vermouth, you need olives, like that's it. You can't do anything else
nothing
with it.
more.
Um, but it loosened up, and it might have just been that in the 90s is when things started loosening up. But now I want to go look and see like when did the lychee martini like come about? Because I love that one. That's my favorite of all time.
I had a really good espresso martini over the weekend. It was
Mm.
Vietnamese coffee, condensed milk, vodka, and then it had red miso in it. So
Whoa, okay. So a
super,
little
super
umami going
interesting.
on in there.
Yeah, and it really paired really nicely, but I
All
thought
right.
it was cool.
Well, let's talk about how to make a pineapple martini. You're going to want 1.25 ounces of vodka, 1 ounce of pineapple juice. If you get a pineapple and cut it, you're going to have juice. Just basically have it in a bowl while you cut it. You can also put pineapple in a juicer, but for just an ounce of juice, honestly, it's super easy. You'll get that and then some, just cutting the pineapple normally. They're so juicy when they're ripe. 1/4 ounce of lime juice, just get that the normal way. And then 1/8 of an ounce of rich simple syrup, which is a 2-to-1 sugar to hot water mix. And then you can garnish this with a pineapple wedge, which can be really fun, and maybe a little umbrella if you want to. So all the ingredients just go in a cocktail shaker with ice. You shake it until it's chilled. Strain it into a chilled coupe or cocktail glass. You will get pulp with that pineapple juice and things in there. So the straining, you can double strain it if you want to. I usually use more of a strainer for fruit martinis than like a finer strainer than just the cocktail shaker top that doesn't really strain necessarily. And garnish it with a pineapple wedge and enjoy it. This one's from punchdrink.com.
Hmm.
Um,
It falls
and it
under one of
sounds
their easy shaken recipes. So
Yeah, the hardest part of this is going to be getting a pineapple, cutting it, and juicing it. Like the most difficult piece of all of this. And honestly, it's not that difficult. And then you've got pineapple. Make an upside down cake or something.
Yeah.
All right. So, should we talk about I don't know what to say, just the I don't know. I just like I feel like it wasn't like a spectacular ads. I don't feel like it was that great.
They're kind of
The
mid, like very
Yeah,
middle of the road.
like yeah, I think one of the ads was just focused on meh, right? Like wasn't there an
Yeah,
ad that was like
I think
that's kind
so.
of how I feel about all of them. So we'll do that when we get back after a little break. All right, we are back. So Zach, you have a pretty hot takeaway from the whole show. So lay it on us.
So the AI ad wars are officially here. There's a
Yep.
lot of big AI companies spending a lot of money to get their name out there. Brands are
And
experimenting with AI too, to very mixed
it's
results.
very mixed. It's very hit and miss. It just is really, really wild. Yeah,
Hmm.
and I think that we're also back, and I was surprised. I figured with like as tough as the economy's being, all the divisive politics and stuff, we'd have a lot more humor, like big humor. Um, a lot of brands didn't go that direction at all. The ones that did sort of made it kind of like they just weren't there was nothing that made me like want to spit out my drink like that
No,
where you
yeah.
just can't control your laughter, which there has been in past Super Bowls. There have been some great things. um so I want to go back to your AI piece, and I want to start with, I know you've got one that's horrible that was AI. Goodwill Duncan. I've got to talk about Goodwill Duncan. So, I saw the teaser this morning, which I hadn't seen in the show. I don't know when it ran, and I loved that. So it was actually Ben Affleck pitching it to Jennifer Aniston and Matt LeBlanc and Jason Alexander. Like, so he had this old like VHS tape, and he was like, he popped it in, and then they cut away to their reactions, and like Jennifer Aniston's like, no one can ever see that, like ever. And he's like, oh, it's okay, it's just gonna air once. So that was funny. The ad itself, I like the idea. I like the idea of like this the rivalry between Ben Affleck and Matt Damon, who are, you know, good friends and all of that, and the idea that they could have cast it differently, and he's always been good with Duncan, right? Like they're Boston people, so Duncan makes sense for them to like rep the brand. Um and I liked the cameos and things.
Hmm.
The quote that I got from a review is the debate is, was this AI slop or a CGI nightmare?
I was wondering, honestly.
Yeah. So they did. I was too. And so if you did, if you Google was the Goodwill Duncan, it'll fill in commercial AI. Like people are asking if it was AI or not. And I think that it was live actors. They shot them and all of that. But the AI they used to de-age them was a little bit weird and I think
It was a
unnecessary.
little uncanny, yeah, because you can tell, like, obviously a lot of those people aren't that same age, and it's just like, when I was watching it, I was like, I think I was like enjoying it, and then I was looking at it closely, and I was like, oh, okay, like, is this AI? Like, I genuinely can't tell
Hmm.
because,
It
like,
got in the way.
it got in the way. It was
Yeah.
like a lot. I think that's what a lot of what happened with a lot of the ads, and why it was so mixed is there's good concepts, but then when you throw AI into it and like the visuals of it, like things can get a little cloudy, right?
Yeah. And so that's where like they shot a real commercial and then used AI for the de-aging, which, you know, de-aging has been used, like they used it on Harrison Ford in, you know, recent movies and things. It's been used before, but the process has been different. It felt sloppy to me.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah. So what about you? Like with I know you've got another AI that you hated.
Yeah. I mean, we can get right into the actual like things if you want.
Yeah,
I
let's jump
think
into the AI one, and then we'll come back to like your least favorite, my least favorite, your favorite, my favorite, all those.
yeah. So honestly, like the biggest like AI, like the worst AI ad that I saw was this Fedka ad. That was basically just nightmare fuel. I don't know
Yeah.
what they were going for with the messaging because having it be like those androids just made it even more uncanny and scary. And it was just janky. Like when you watch it, like the movements weren't natural. And I mean, maybe they tried to hide that with the robots because, like, I don't know. I feel like they spent all the money on the ad spot and like basically nothing on the actual ad itself.
Yeah, it reminded me of watching the Tesla robots or androids or what I guess they're robots. They were supposed to be like operating on like self-operating, serving drinks at that party when that thing came out like a few years ago, and then we found out that it was actually people behind the scenes like manipulating the robots, like running them. And then somebody also did one where they had like an autonomous, AI robot, but it was a person in a suit. Like they just weren't, the technology wasn't there. And yeah, I feel like Svedka just really missed it here. It did not make me want to get a martini or drink Svedka vodka at all. There were
No.
parts of it that were just gross. Like, they're
Hmm.
drinking and it's just coming out their throat. Like, it's like, whoa.
Like the smile was really uncanny with like the lipstick on the robot, and then like
Hmm.
it's almost like they tried to make it look, they tried to make it work instead of making a good ad. Like they were like, okay, like this is what this is kind of good. I don't know, like it literally didn't make any sense to me because like it wasn't like fun to watch. Like it was very obviously AI. It didn't do anything extra with the AI. Like it didn't push any boundaries. Like trying to do something experimental. It kind of just seemed like okay, we spent all of our money on the actual like ad spot.
Hmm.
Let's just like throw AI at the creative and see what happens.
Yep, 100%. So there was one that wasn't AI, and I think it was your least favorite and my least favorite too, because it made no sense.
Hmm. The
So
we talking
go
about the
ahead.
Coinbase karaoke?
Yep. Yeah. So for me, the song made no sense for Coinbase at all.
No.
Like it just did not fit. Like, there are songs about money. There's songs about current, like that would have made more sense to me, but it just wasn't something where like I wanted to sing along. Like nobody who I was with, we were all just kind of
Yeah,
like,
we were
are we
all just
supposed to
staring
be
at the screen.
doing karaoke? And then we were trying to guess who it was for. And like Coinbase was not even on our radar.
No.
Like,
I knew it was some, it really missed the mark too because it's like one, like maybe if you're at a bar, like maybe some people sung along, I could see that being a thing. And I really think they were just going all in on like that nostalgia hit where it's like, oh, this is a song that like a lot of people like. Like I'm sure somebody will sing along, and then we can get them to say our name or like at the end of it. It was kind of cringy and like uncomfortable, and
and
I did not like it.
and the graphics were straight out of like 1986.
Yeah.
Like it was just, oh, like for that and for how long it was, I was like, oh my God, you're killing me.
And it didn't make me
Um,
want to like look up what Coinbase was. Like I already
I don't
knew
even
that Coinbase
care.
had something to do with like cryptocurrency,
Hmm.
but it didn't like intrigue me to the point where I was like, "Oh, that was an interesting ad. I want to go like actually see what Coinbase is." It was like, "Oh, that was really uncomfortable. Like I want to know who did this so that I don't support them." But
Yeah, yeah, it really missed like crazy. So another one that I think it's better than I think the Coinbase ad and this Fedka ad, but not a great ad, but was entertaining a bit was, God help me, the William Shatner one where he was just
oh,
William Shat. I mean, so they had a gimmick, right? And the gimmick was let's shove as many poop jokes into an ad as we possibly can.
yeah.
Um, and so it just kept going, and I think that it almost hit the point where it went so far over the top with the poop jokes that it got funny, but it just didn't get over the hill for me. Like, when they got to the Shih Tzu, like I'm like, okay, like that's a clever way to fit that in there and get it past the censors, boys. But it was just such a I don't know, it was just such a weird concept. And the fact that Shatner did it blew my mind.
Yeah. It was a weird one. There's a lot of weird ads that I just didn't really like. I don't know, they kinda just missed the mark. Another one
Yeah.
that I just remembered was the AI.com one, where it's like AI.com/Elon, AI.com/this. Like, I don't know what AI.com is, but it was really forgettable, and, if you put Elon in there, I'm not gonna want to actually search
Yeah,
it.
I know. It's
So
like, yeah, there was another one, I think it was for OpenAI and one of their new products, and it was trying to be an Apple ad, like, it had Einstein and, like, I think Elon was in there and others, and it was just like, bleh. Alright, well, that's,
those are some of the least favorites. I think we
yeah, and
covered
I'm
a good
sure
chunk of them.
there are more that I hated, but those were the ones that really stuck out. I do have what may be a controversial favorite ad when we get there, but yeah, let's jump into the good stuff.
All right,
Like,
I can definitely start.
go ahead.
So the first ad that I kind of like actually felt like, okay, that was pretty good, was the Budweiser ad. And I grew up like seeing those Budweiser ads and always liking like the giant horses. So like when I
The
saw the
Clydesdales,
horse,
yeah.
the Clydesdales, yeah. I remember like I don't know, I just have a lot of good memories like watching the Super Bowl with my family and those ads coming up, and usually they're pretty funny or they like hit on like some good storytelling notes. And for me, as soon as I saw like the Clydesdale like pony or like colt, I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. Like I know this is gonna be a Budweiser ad.
Yep.
And then the eagle, like the baby eagle, it raising the baby eagle, it just hit on a lot of nostalgia for me. And I like the storytelling with minimal dialogue. I didn't have to like there wasn't like a lot of like things being thrown at me. It was a simple story, and I think it did a good job of like really like putting their brand out there because I instantly knew the Clydesdale horse. You always can expect a Clydesdale horse
Yep.
commercial at the Super Bowl. And I really like how there's maybe one line of dialogue there, but they still got their point across and really put their
Yeah.
brand out there.
And I think Bud is one that always tries to go for that emotion and that heart with something. And this one was pretty good. Like, it's not the probably top 5 most emotional Budweiser ads because they've had some really strong ones in the
Hmm.
past. But they also always have something in there that's funny with like the keg rolling down the hill and like all that stuff. That
Yeah,
was, it was really cute too. What's really funny is Leonard Skinner tweeted about it and they said, "We can't think of a better way to celebrate our legendary song than to be honored in Budweiser USA's beautiful commercial."
which is
Like,
cool.
which is a really nice sentiment. Like, it's really good, and I think that's where when you find a brand and a theme that goes together, and then you can weave a story into it, you don't have to try too hard. You can get a really good ad, um,
Mm.
out of that.
Another
So,
one, oh, I was just thinking of this. Sorry. Another one that I thought was a good honorable mention that I almost put on this list was the Pepsi commercial with the polar bears.
a lot of people didn't get it
I thought it
because
was
I
really
saw.
funny, especially the Coldplay concert part, and then, like, I don't know, like, taking that iconic of, like, a mascot from Coca-Cola. I don't know, I thought it was, like, very close to being good because, like, I saw, like, a lot of the references and I thought it was kinda funny, but I didn't put it
Yeah.
in my top 2.
I think if people missed the opening, because the opening of that is obviously the polar bear's doing a blind taste test and chooses
Yeah.
Pepsi over Coke. If you miss that, you're lost the entire ad. It's a polar bear getting therapy, and then
Mhm.
he's seeing Pepsi everywhere and getting handed a Pepsi and drinking Pepsi. And then the Coldplay concert moment.
He gets caught with
But
Pepsi at the wrong concert.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I saw that I saw people posting about it on social. They were like, "I thought the polar bears were Coke's thing. Why is Pepsi using them?" And it's like you missed the first like 4 seconds of that commercial, clearly. And that I think is a problem with storytelling, right? Because we're all like, we're on screens and doing this while
Yeah,
we're
you look down for a
watching.
second and you miss
And
it.
if you look away, you miss it. That's what I love. I just finished watching a Japanese reality series. It's called The Boyfriend. It's a bunch of guys, a bunch of gay guys work a coffee truck and try to match. And it's so Japanese culture because it's very not hookup culture at all. It's very get to know you and they don't want to express their feelings, but I
Everyone's super
watch it.
respectful.
Yeah, they're so respectful, and I always watch it with subtitles, and because I want to hear their real voices for one. But watching with subtitles, you cannot be dual screening it. You will miss so much because you've got to focus and read that TV screen. Okay, so my favorite ad might be controversial, but it made me laugh. And the longer it went, the funnier I thought it got, and I thought it ended well. But it was the Manscaped ad.
Oh, yeah.
All of the body hair, like
The ballad.
yeah, the ballad, like original song, which is really great. You've got all these different characters that they've created about different types of hair and things. Um, it really tied to the product, right? Like that one was the product, like how you use it. And I just thought it was funny. And then the end line after he like scoops up one of the characters and flushes it is, um, you won't miss your hair, but your hair might miss you. Uh, just like I was like, okay, that one made me laugh more than almost anything.
It was
And I
good.
had, yeah, that was a really good one. I did like the Bud ad as well. I love a good Budweiser ad. Um,
It
we
was
had a
kind of just,
problem.
like, feel good, like, it really, like, hit on the point. It was a really nice song choice with the
Mhm,
eagle flying above the Clydesdale.
yep. Yeah, when I was a kid, I would sing beer jingles, like
I
because you
remember
saw
you
them on
saying
TV all
that.
the time, and they were really good original songs, you know, like "Head for the Mountains of Bush Beer." But, I'm not gonna sing anymore. But so my parents wanted me to start singing, like, soda pop commercials, like, so they got me, like, "I'd like to teach the world to sing Coke," like, 45, so we had that on 45 because 'cause I'm that old. I still have it here too. The same one. So just trying to get into that and get me away from beer as like a 6-year-old and get me into like maybe sing something more age appropriate for you. So, all right. So you have another favorite.
I do. I picked 2. I almost picked 3, like I said, with the polar bears, but the polar bear wasn't perfect. The polar bear ad, I thought it was clever, but it didn't, like, hit all the notes. With this one, I was kinda surprised to see this kind of an ad at the Super Bowl. So Pokemon did their own ad, which "What's your favorite Pokemon?" And it starts with a lot of the celebrities. They had Lady Gaga, Trevor Noah, Charles Leclerc, who's like a Formula One racer. They had a Korean like K-pop. Oh no, isn't yeah Korean singer Jisoo, and they had like an actor and a Spanish football player. And what I really liked was that I didn't know what the ad was about, and I was kind of confused at first, but because they were just describing like a specific Pokemon, which it ended up being, and then as they started describing it, it started showing up behind them. And Pokemon, like when that was popular, was right around the age that I was like growing up, and it was booming. And so I don't know, I thought it was really cool. Like I think it was a really cool way to kind of describe how many different kinds of Pokemon there are
Hmm.
in the game, and they have their own personalities, and like it's a little intriguing too. And it's Pokemon's I think 30th anniversary or getting
Yep.
close to their 30th anniversary.
It's
So
30th. Yep. You're correct.
yeah, so that was kind of a part of that this ad was. And I don't know, I thought it was really cool that like it's showing like, oh, all my favorite celebrities have their own favorite Pokemon. Like,
Hmm.
I don't know, it's just really cool. And I'm sure like a lot of people my age and like kids loved it. So
Well, and I think that's where like even Coke comes in with like that when you tap into nostalgia in some way. And it's wild that Pokemon is old enough to like start tapping into nostalgia. But it was a big part for kids growing up, you know, 25, 30 years ago. And it still has had some staying power as they've moved into games from cards, and the cards are still a huge deal too.
mhm.
Um,
The cards are
so I
really
think
big
that
right
that like
now.
Pokemon Go did a lot for that too.
Yeah.
Like that was really great. Yeah, I just had to look that one up because I don't remember seeing that one. And again, like I told you, I didn't watch the second half. Um, but it's really interesting. So that how much do you think that cost them to produce?
Oh, I have no idea. Like ballpark, was it in the hundreds of millions?
No, it wasn't in hundreds of millions. It was 16 to 20 million.
Okay. I never know with the Super Bowl because like I feel like it just keeps going up and up.
Yeah, I mean, like a Lady Gaga is going to cost you a lot. A Trevor Noah is going to cost you a lot. Formula One a little bit less. And as you get into like more foreign celebrities, they'll be a little bit cheaper. I mean, also the thing that pops in there is if they want to do it, like they really have a genuine love for the brand, some celebrities will like cut their fee down to scale. Like I've seen that happen with brands, which is really, really cool. Yeah, I'm trying to think. The Mandalorian and Grogu thing was cute. I didn't realize that was a movie coming out. I figured the show would just be coming back, but I guess there's a movie.
I didn't realize that either.
Um, and then there was one for oh the movie called Hail Mary coming out.
Oh yeah, that was
Um,
interesting. The person I was next to is like, are they making just like, is every celebrity have to go into space now? So I thought that
yeah,
was
I
kind of
was
funny.
yeah, Ryan Gosling in space. You think he sits around and is just like, what haven't I done yet? I haven't gone into
I've been
space.
Ken. I need to go to
Mhm.
space next.
Yeah, I do like the movie trailers or shortened trailers premiering in the Super Bowl. It's a really good platform for that, I think, as advertising goes. Um, I did not like, and they all are really short because it's expensive. And then they're like, the full trailer now online. I know where
Yeah.
to find those. You can find them on YouTube. You can find them on Apple TV. They have the trailers, things. I didn't go look up either one of them because, I mean, I want to see both of those movies. Actually, I love a good sci-fi. I love good space. I love
It
Star
looked
Wars.
interesting.
Like I grew up a Star Wars kid. I was born in the early '70s, so I was 8 or 9 when that was coming out. Um, and so yeah, I want to see him, but it wasn't enough to make me like go do it right away. Um, and I still have it. I probably need to do that. Maybe I'll do that tonight. Just look it up and see what it's more about. But I'm trying to think, was there anything else that like came through there? Oh, the real winner of the Super Bowl, the Backstreet Boys.
Oh yeah, 100%.
They made bank being in multiple commercials like throughout there. Like the T-Mobile one was cute. It was fun. Um, but yeah, like
The
that was a good
Coinbase,
one.
they didn't have to do anything. They just had to give their song. I don't
Yeah,
know.
they just got paid to use their song. So that I thought was fun. And I also thought it was fun. Like some of the Backstreet Boys have aged really well and some not so well.
Yeah, I feel like I hear that a lot. It's like some have
Yeah.
aged pretty well, and you can like they're still really good looking, and others are like, ooh,
Yeah, it's like, ooh, you had some rough times in there after you were done singing. Oh, yeah, so horrible game. Just boring.
mid ads.
But
Nothing really like
yeah,
stood out like to a crazy like extent.
what do the kids say? The ads were really 6'7"? Is that an appropriate use of that?
Yeah,
How were the ads? 6'7".
something like that.
Um, that was in the teaser for the Ben Affleck Goodwill Duncan thing.
Oh
He
yeah,
talks about like, how, cringe is in, what is it, 6'7" the kids are saying these days? I don't
I caught
know.
that. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
funny.
really funny. All right, yeah, it was just interesting. I thought, I know we're not here to talk about the halftime show, but I thought it was phenomenal. Like,
Yeah, I
amazing
liked it a lot.
energy. Um, I like Latin music anyway. I think Bad Bunny is fun. What got me is to get all those trees out onto the
I
field. They were all
know.
people.
I didn't
They were
realize that.
people.
I saw that after the show, and I was like, that makes
And
sense.
I love
It makes
like
sense now. Like I don't know how they got all that stuff out there so fast.
yeah, but I was expecting the trees to like dance or something, like have a left shark moment, but they were just decorative. The other thing that killed me about it is if you were in the lower seats, you couldn't see anything on the
Yeah,
field. Like you had to be high up or looking at the monitors because that halftime show was for TV,
that's
100%
hmm
for TV.
and I really liked the
Um,
storytelling they had too. It was really
mhm.
cool, and like it was pretty wholesome. Honestly, it's probably the most wholesome, like well-meaning halftime show we've had in a while.
Yeah, I
Because
mean, Lady Gaga was fully dressed. Bad Bunny was fully dressed. Pedro Pascal showed up and he was fully dressed.
the messaging was really
Um,
cool. I liked everything.
Yeah, I did see a replay of it that had the whole translation. It was a really wonderful, like very poignant song making a statement, but it was definitely a love letter to Puerto Rico, and Puerto Rico's part of America and for the Americas as a whole in our hemisphere, which was really nice. But yeah, all right. Well, that's our take. I know there's some controversial stuff there, but um I think everybody's united on the ads, though. I've heard the
Yeah.
same people hated the AI stuff and love Budweiser. People are a little bit mixed on the Manscaped. I think maybe it just kind of grosses people out. Oh, and we didn't even talk about the pee ads. Like that, there
We
were like
covered the
three
poo.
ads about pee. Like, and there was also like a Cologuard one or something. There was another poop ad in there too. But
Yeah.
like, I'm just learning that like apparently Americans are really unhealthy and we're dehydrated and terrible. Like that Liquid IV ad it was
Oh
kinda
yeah.
gross.
That
You're
one
like,
I that
"Ooh."
one was surprising. I like the tight end ad. I forgot about that one with the prostate
Yeah.
awareness. I didn't know what
Mhm.
the ad was for, and then as soon as they brought up prostate awareness, I'm like, okay, like message sent. You got me.
Yeah, I think it was the prostate cancer awareness. Yeah, that's a good one, and that's a big deal, like, prostate cancer's on the rise,
Hmm.
so you got it here, folks, like, when you hit a certain age, get that checked. And you can do the Cologuard, like, that's a totally safe way to do that.
Yeah. I
But
think
also
we
when you hit a certain age, you're going to get a colonoscopy. It's going to happen.
now that we've covered that one, I think we've covered all of the mainly like decent ads.
I think so. Yeah. And so there was a poop ad that was a good ad.
There were
There
some
we
that were
go.
good, some that were like very middle of the road, and then others like the AI generated stuff like Svedka very bad. Um,
I think the colon cancer one, using football players that people know, that's a great way to really play toward that straight male audience,
and then
like,
being
and get
tight
them to pay
ends.
attention. Yeah, and have it be a funny joke, but it's not super offensive and it's not gross. And and people remember that. So I think that was a kind of a brilliant move on their part,
100%.
um, to bring that in. So yeah, I think that's a wrap on the Superb Owl.
Yeah, that's an
Super
episode.
Bowl.
You can find our agency at antidote71.com, and all of our socials are there as well. If you have a question you'd like to send our way, head to ctapodcast.live to shoot us an email, or even better, leave us a voice message on our hotline at 402-718-9971. Your question will make it into a future episode of the podcast.
Yep, and I do want to just call out the DNS for ctapodcast.live was kind of jacked up until about a month ago, but we did fix it and it actually resolves quickly now. It was just taking forever to actually resolve and redirect to the podcast, but I just tested it while you were doing the closing and it works. So we're sorry
Awesome.
about that. But if you tried it in the past and couldn't get there, just give it a try again and we should be good. All right, I will see you next time, Zach.
See ya. See you next week.